So now we're just going to take our polymer and mix it in with our monomer, and I have like 5 seconds to get that powder wetted. There we go, and it's nice and thin so that I can just suction that into my monoject syringe. And now the rush is over. While it's still nice and thin, I'm going to just inject it into my channel that I created in my denture base. And now it's getting a little more substantial, so I'm going to just inject it, just a little dollop onto each of these pre-coated tie bases. Just like that. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to overfill my denture. I want you to just pay attention that I'm not going like back and forth, creating all kinds of voids in that material, just nice and smooth. And now I do what we call the Dairy Queen test, and we invert that, make sure that the material's at the point where it's not drizzling, it's not dripping and making a mess. So now we go to the patient's mouth, and here I can't because I don't have an opposing, but if this was a live patient, then I would actually have the mandibular occlusal surfaces against the opposing maxillary dentition, and then I would take the patient's chin and use chin point guidance and just rotate them in centric relation into the intaglio of that mandibular denture so that I ensure I have perfect occlusion. That's one of the main advantages to this technique, doing it closed, not having to maintain access to the screw, that you can control the occlusion so much easier. So now this material takes about 3 minutes in the mouth to set and about 5 minutes bench top. So we're going to use a little bit of movie magic to just expedite the setting of that acrylic. But before we do, I just want to say one of the disadvantages to acrylic is it's going to put out some heat. So you do have to be prepared to start irrigating the material in the patient's mouth while it's setting up. But the heat comes as the material is going from rubbery to set. So you don't have to be irrigating the whole time. Just when the material is going from rubbery to set, it's going to really ramp up and put out some heat. So that's when you have to be ready to just start irrigating and keep the patient comfortable and the tissues safe. But that is also one of the main advantages of that silicone dam. It provides a little barrier between the tissue and the material that's setting up, and silicone is an insulator.